The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
Welcome back, and what we want to discuss today is our retirement blueprint. It's extremely important to understand the pillars that are involved in this. We've said it multiple times, you probably know. We always say well-established expectations is the roadmap to a prosperous relationship. We've defined what our process is, but within our process, there's pillars, really. There's elements that we must understand more about, and we also think, while we're doing it, is you should understand what these things are as well. So one of the fundamental pieces of our retirement blueprint is creating income. So there's multiple ways to do that, which is a completely other segment, but we want to make sure that the first thing that we have in mind is replacing your income. But again, it is natural that when someone walks through our office and we sit down and we start the process of understanding what the goals are, and they're used to making $4,000 a month, and we say, okay, so how much retirement income are you really looking for? Knowing that your income currently is around $4,000 a month, it's no surprise that they say, well, probably $10,000 a month, right? The goal is they want to maximize their income and hopefully, if not more, replace the income that they've been living on their whole lives. So it's very important to understand that there's a process to this. And one of the things we don't want to do is we don't want to mess this piece up, right? You want your income to be very reliable, very sustainable, and very predictable. And that's one of the first pillars of our retirement blueprint, creating income, making sure you have that income and you never outlive it, okay? We also want to make sure that we understand how the investment piece works in our retirement blueprint. We have a philosophy for this, and one of the things that we must go through as you really progress in your retirement is understanding what our investment philosophy is, understanding how we're going to manage the assets, understanding what your risk tolerance is, understanding what your long-term goals are, because we understand that these things change as well, what your appetite for risk is. That's what this arm does. It's also very important to understand working with our CPAs because, again, we are full service. We've got CPAs in the firm. We've got estate planners in the firm. We're doing income planning in the firm. We're checking off these boxes all under one roof. So that's a very big takeaway. If you were to ask why ReJoyce Financial is different, there's a big piece right there. But the tax piece is, when you're working with a CPA, and there's a lot of good ones. Some of my personal friends, and I love them. But the fact is, a lot of CPAs don't do what's called the tax analysis arm. And so a lot of them they're doing the accounting piece, they're accounting for the documents, and then they're filing the documents. One of the things what we're looking at more closely, if you will, so this arm knows what this arm is doing, is we're looking at the efficiency factors in a portfolio. You see, one of the things we don't want to do is focus so heavily on returns that we're making you think that you have to take more risk to create more returns. We're more looking for what the efficiency factors in the portfolio. If we can make the portfolio more efficient 10, 15, 20 years from now, and it adds double digits of efficiencies to the portfolio, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's return as well, okay? So that's what that arm is doing. We also have to make sure we account for longevity. There was a 4% rule that was established many, many years ago, and it's not as reliable as it used to be, although still a good rule of thumb. The 4% withdrawal rule was, of course, you take 4% out of the portfolio, you index it with inflation, you use your Social Security as a supplement, and of course, you had a pension. We know one thing is very, very certain is pensions are now getting ready to be dinosaurs, if you will, and Social Security is very unstable and very unpredictable. We don't know what are happening with those things. So one of the things we want to focus on, understanding that people are living longer, is we look at this longevity arm as a risk. How do we sit down and understand what the longevity risk is to the portfolio, and how do we make sure that we're not putting too much pressure on that arm to be able to jump over hurdles in life that are simply out of our control? Longevity, again, could be health related, ladies and gentlemen. Long-term care insurance may not be the answer, but again, sitting down with your advisor and coaching through those things to be able to understand the level of importance, that's what we're trying to do with that arm, okay? And of course, legacy. One of the things we do when we sit down with our clients is we simply ask them what the differences are. What the differences are in terms of what your goal is for the assets. Is it leave on or is it live on? To us, those are two distinct phases of a retirement. Those are two distinct phases of asset classes. And we have to be able to look at them and make sure that you understand what we're doing when we have that fork in the road. So this is our retirement blueprint. And we again lay this out because we want to give you a sense of security and a sense of peace of mind knowing that our process is there, right? It's a systematic approach that you can just take and ride out for your retirement. So if you'd like to learn more about this or see if it's a good fit for you, please do not hesitate to give us a call. The consultations cost nothing, only value, and only a little bit of your time. Stay tuned, folks. There's more to come.
The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
Do you remember this? How about that? Do you remember? The journey to retirement hasn't always been easy. I'm Alexander Joyce. Let us build a retirement plan you can rely on, a financial plan that gives you confidence and peace of mind, a legacy plan that protects them, and let us start that process today. And let us help you rejoice in your retirement. I'm Alexander Joyce, President and CEO of ReJoyce Financial. If you're in retirement or near retirement, with all life's changes, it never hurts to get a second opinion. Managing expectations is the foundation of a prosperous relationship. Our goal is simple. We want to get to know you. So pick up the phone and make an appointment for a complimentary visit. There is no cost, no obligation. We simply want to get to know you and see if we can add value to your life in retirement. We can discuss topics like income planning, sequence of return risk, taxes and estate planning, Social Security maximization, and much more. Let us help you develop strategies that can develop a successful retirement. If you want to know more about successful retirement strategies, then call now, schedule a visit, and let us help you rejoice in your retirement.